Picture this. You're scrolling through Reddit and you read the headlines. Kim Jong-un at a military parade. Or Trump cancelling Kamala Harris' Secret Service details. And instead of using that little pea brain of yours to come up with your own conclusions, you think, wouldn't it be better for someone else to make my own opinions for me? For our first Stats 399 project, we were given the task of creating a sentiment analysis program to gauge the class's overall feelings towards the course. It looked a little something like this. Back then, we used a pre-existing lexicon like the Bing lexicon, which already had a list of words classified as positive or negative. This was an issue, as if we had a word that wasn't a part of this lexicon, then it wouldn't be classified. Another problem? Our previous implementation of sentiment analysis only looked at each word by itself, basically slapping on a happy or sad sticker on it. But Yunha, language doesn't work like that. You need context. Without it, you'd miss the actual meaning of the entire sentence. Like, hello? You think you can just take each word at face value and then magically gauge the sentiment of the entire sentence? That is a good point though. The only reason we got away with that implementation was because our data was just words separated by commas. If we wanted to make a sentiment analysis program that would work with real-life data, like Reddit posts, we would need something that can handle full sentences, context and all. Here's the solution that I've come up with. First, go into reddit.com and register an app to get a client ID and token. We can then use these keys alongside R's HTTR package to get what's known as an access token. We can use this access token to let our code talk to the Reddit server and scrape data straight from the website, such as posts or comments. After we get these posts, we need a way to gauge the actual sentiment of our data. This time, instead of working with lists of words, we're working with posts from Reddit. So, we can use the ChatGPT library in order to send these posts straight through ChatGPT with a custom prompt to classify the sentiment as either positive, negative, or neutral. This is done by going through OpenAI's platform in order to get another API key. After spending a minimum of $10 for this key, which is like 3 energy drinks from Munchie Mart I'll never get back, we can then specify the model we want to use for the specific implementation. For my project, I went with GPT 4.1 Mini, as it quote, excels at instruction following and tool calling, which is all we need for now. Using an older and smaller version of OpenAI's model also makes it more unlikely to reach the maximum token cap of 128,000 tokens, or around 96,000 words. Finally, I encased all of this code in a shiny R app, where we can add extra features like picking specific subreddits to scrape from, and picking the amount of posts we want to get from 1 to 10. I split the code into 2 different tabs, where the first tab scrapes the posts from Reddit, and the second tab calls ChatGPT to gauge the sentiment of each post. Here, I also added a summary column where we can pass the same post through ChatGPT with a different prompt, where we can get a short summary of the post and what it's about. And just like that, we're done! We've successfully built a sentiment analysis app that web scrapes new data for us so that you never have to form an original opinion again.